leaders serve others first. Not themselves, not their profit margin, not their mission, but others first. Every time, all the time. I'm J Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast, and I want to remind you that leaders serve others first because people do what people see. Which means if what you're doing every day in your business, in your job, in your personal and professional relationships is really all about you in the back of your mind, then while you may think that your serving of others, your display of honorable activities is about them, you really know that deep in your belief systems, deep in your own life, deep in your own heart, you're actually doing it with an ulterior motive. And see, there's a really fine line between intent and motives. There's also a fine line between intent and purpose. And when you realize there are some things that you do intentionally, but you didn't really do that on purpose. I mean, you thought you knew what the outcome was going to be, but you weren't sure. And then there are some things that you do on purpose. Imagine a brother with a hammer in his hand who sees a giant cockroach, and as that cockroach runs across the floor, it runs right onto his little sister's foot. He has a hammer in his hand, he wants to kill the cockroach, so he smashes the cockroach while it's on his little sister's foot. Well, she lets out a scream, and her mother says, "Why did you do that?" He said, "I was trying to kill the bug." "Did you hit the bug on purpose?" "I did hit the bug on purpose." "Why did you use a hammer?" "Because that's what I had handy, and I wanted to kill the bug." See, on purpose was to kill the bug, but the intention wasn't to smash his sister's foot. We all have those moments in our life and our relationships, again, personal and professional, where we do something on purpose without any deep thought for the unintended consequences. Unintended consequences, because our intention wasn't really to cause this chain of events to happen, but now that it has, what are you going to do? The challenge for many of us is getting our mental focus sharp enough to understand that we really do need to serve others. Not for our own sake, but for others' sake. We need to do things for people outside of ourselves because we're demonstrating to those who watch us what it means to sacrifice ourself, our contentment, our happiness, our daily lives for somebody else. Someone once said, there's no greater love than this, that you would lay down your life for a friend. I don't know that that always means to die. Obviously, the love of a soldier is pretty significant when he's willing to die for someone else, or she. But the reality is sometimes the most complicated request that you get is to do something that seems inconvenient. I had planned to do these 5 things on that date, and I'm not going to be able to if I do that. I had hoped to do this in the next hour or so, and I'm either going to have to put that off or dismiss it altogether if I'm going to serve you. Well, the truth of the matter is, it's not just the reality that what goes around comes around. It's a law called the law of gender that when you plant seeds, they tend to bear fruit. They take root in the ground. They become some living thing that then begins to bear fruit. And eventually you get to harvest that fruit. But when you do that, thinking only of the fruit, it's almost like you corrupt the process. And when you do that, because deep inside you're hoping that you can manipulate the outcome down the road, well, then you've corrupted the process. When you do that because planting seeds is a good thing, doing things for others is a good thing, when your genuine motive inside, your purpose and your intention, they all come together, and your real deep-seated, heartfelt passion is, I'm going to serve others for their benefit, knowing that I've planted seeds and one day they'll come to fruit. Then you'll find as a leader, not only do you have a greater harvest at the end of your journey, but you'll also see a legacy, if you will, the difference between success and significance. You'll see behind you a wave of others who say, I was served by this leader. They got nothing from it. But because they serve me, I will do the same thing. I will serve others so that that legacy can be passed on. If you have served others, I love the way Christine Kane said it recently. She said, when you walk off the stage to a standing ovation, just understand you've already gotten all the reward you're going to get for that event. If they're applauding you now, say thank you. Be grateful that you had the opportunity to serve them now. But the applause is kind of the end of the cycle. That's the fruit. If you want to see longer lasting fruit, orchards of fruit, not a tree with a few fruits on it. If you want to see the orchard of fruits, you're going to have to invest a little more. You're going to have to give a little more. You're going to have to serve others a little more with the willingness to wait for the return. So my challenge to you today, as leaders, don't ask what's in it for me. Don't look for the benefit right now. Don't even think about the pot at the end of the rainbow. Simply plant the seeds. Do for others, especially when you can't figure out how doing it might pay off in the end. I'm J Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast for Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day.
Leadership team. If attitude is going to have a deep impact on your business and bottom line, make it a positive attitude with a positive impact. Visit jlorennorris.com/attitude hack